opinion, ne options, and as a foreigner, the way they are, but you as a leader, no, and I wouldn't him the way, and I think say wouldn't him the way, focus. You stay. You see, this privatization of ECG, blah blah blah, a byproduct of something. Very systemic. Okay. And that has to do with the ineffectiveness. State-owned enterprises. A culture. That has been normalized.
That's right.
It's a state-owned institution. That is the culture. So we have created a certain culture of ineptitude that is fully accepted and appreciated within state-owned enterprises. So at the end of the day, ECG running laws. Bank of Ghana cry monetary policy as if to running at a loss.
Bank of Ghana.
So you can mention them. CEO, no. All the state-owned enterprises has become debt entities running at a substantial debt. Alaska. So if this is the culture, it's normal to fail. It's normal to, and on top of that, entities are yet to omoka ye okrum haya. It's your friends state-owned enterprises. The CEOs. See Enra, what is a way for no more? Obi, your friend saying internet allowance and as a clothing allowance in bonus to change. Obi all year Juma, your friend saying public servant all year Juma away. So in Alaska, one hour run ECG, Oboka to say you about them, but at the end of the day, no allowance and as for what Janet to say, we are, will you be worried? There are no KPIs. I had studies. So one to me performing, Ebia, you punish and answer way. Bank of Ghana, the year no more over 70 billion. In the history of this country, been seen that no. Omoto go to watch Momo. Ethiopia 5 billion each. The board members
and women and their person, Mammy Tenassi, so that it should them.
So Alaska,
and that is the whole agenda.
So make this privatization, I don't know if you want to go into that argument because it's a byproduct. Until we resolve it, all these things will be coming. Can we make it a deliberate effort, say? Henceforth, state-owned enterprises in India, we are coming to redirect their focus and set new standard for them.
Okay.
And again, those benefits are so excessive. Obi a CEO or Jessica over 80,000 Ghana cedis a month.
President.
But Alaska, Ajuma no dano no boka to sesebi wabodam.
Oje president apetashi. Obi rehua onumunsa. Obi enija onumunsa.
Oba ranya boka.
Nanso nanado ase.
Alaska. So the notion we are creating is your mind dear. But Argentina private person, Burma, all of a sudden. So it means there is something we are not doing right. And for me, that is leadership. That is when leadership must come in and recalibrate some of these and make sure, state, because CEO na ya appoint, Nipa na ya appoint, na jene say finance party into na CEO. Oh, madam for na president intia. Oh, minu anyway, obi call obi mame. Oh, me kotua sika na my CEO. So I know the day, it is not about performance. It is not about merit. It is not about whether the person can do or not.
Recouping sika.
Now a couple of saying that betuya appointment out there no yeah. Over the years, that has been the culture. So I know the day these institutions have become debt-stricken institutions. They are not being effective. And the ECG, yabakaya, and the most surprising aspect of it is ECG privatization, and the same people in government who are supposed to ensure yes, not yababeje. And I don't know at that time, Sikano private pocket into the Abaya ye. Alaska na make say Ghana no, money. We need a ruthless person as president.
A ruthless person.
Somebody who is very ruthless but very pragmatic.
Okay.
What's your me say what that sorry no pa now bomb pa ye chiri nyankopon the next person ne din beba wadwemu the president say o mess up he will mess you up too. Rollins depends that's how it is. How dare you mess up? Was o bomb pa ye chiri wunya me wi a wouldn't say Rollins bi o ha confront no. That is the leadership for you. And but if you don't do the right thing, if you mess up, I'll mess you up. That is the culture we must create.
Messi Adano, na former governor appointee be catch him say under Nanado. You do share baby and I don't know to me kwajo mente won kan me ho wa ha ye wo maaye.
Alaska. So for me, that is the culture we've instituted. You see, most of the appointment we do is not based on merit.
Exactly.
And I say nipa no betimi aye. Because obi godfather or baby na wa lobby dia man we nua we bi. And the politicians say they win the godfather they are just
Yeah, ni mo bi ade.
Yeah, we ni mo bi ade na to wadwene mi. So Alaska nti nipa no kwhye ho a na dwe ne say o me wa ha because madam funi we na de me amba. Sometimes if you are even questioning why they are doing certain things, Abaka tells say, Papa, I'm not here because of you. President,
that's right.
You see that kind of culture. So we have created a certain sick culture. I give you rise to some of these your friends say failure.
Madness.
I am normal.
Say every this madness.
Yes, and it has become normal. But Senke dia assess state institution based on performance and as for nipa na ya we hold you by the balls. At the end of the day, no people will sit up and do the right thing. Because a private person betting by AEC Jamana yeah. I don't think a government into me. Alaska, a buying crew for a private person, difference being the womb. Private for 1 year for. But why are they able to do it? Banker states the crown what the resources and the needed this thing to do it. But that is the culture that we've created for ourselves. So for me, I think say Niema way you be free it should stem from the top. The president need to make it a deliberate policy. Say going forward, you know, my focus is on state-owned enterprises. First of all, huge salaries no more taking is to begin to slash them.
Exactly.
Yes, we need to review the emolument we are among for JJ. Any other benefit that comes with it. Because if we are unable to do some of these things and allow this trend to go on, say never. And the Akanabaya Kasa, whether ECG or private or government or private people will come, it will be a cabal. And Nippon or mobile fan yet ordinary private people. It's the same people in power, none of the come boom. I don't know private person. So those who PDS and I'm about to take over. So I'm happy President Mahama today is insisting say he will not privatize a friend saying ECG. They are privatizing near Masadia, and which means I'm more intimate, and I am privatizing presidency now.
It shows us, say, and you're not all privatizing, and you're to Obama because leaders are to solve problems.
Yes, I understand privatization is part of a larger government, your friend saying, a bodulus and yet the operating. But there are other areas you can outsource, you can go to for private way, but critical government infrastructure, you can't hand it over to private entity. Okay, America is a power sector idea. No, you can't do that because these are critical infrastructure. Any ADB because to be bring the country down. Now notice say Portugal and France, yes, will be a hacky or more power grid that the whole of your friends say Europe, some part, no munya light.
Sir.
That is how serious some of these enterprises are. So when they come to some of these things, they even have national security implications. So you don't hand it over to private person to manage. Then I say for
that data.
Yes.
What do you expect?
Yes. And of course, my private entity and now to where what all credit empty and no more done with data and as for their loans. And now what one of my send do you want to loan in Sabian Seven Kwa? Because I found a or data. They are taking it from all these people. I want for controller kwa Nippon war pay a buying payroll so I did your phone number. Then they are sending you loan then as a for them. They don't even have the right to do that. But they are selling this data to people. When they are away. So our money is so ineffective. So be a year pay. That is why I'm expecting President Mahama to rise to the occasion and become very, 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 very strong. Because on minor year buno, criminals do so change ni papa.
Oh yeah.
Akron 4 doors to change or more ready to steal.
And we are white grants who say you do the right thing, they will come after you.
Yes. And we see a minor the most dangerous people are even those we give them power. When they get power, they become even more dangerous.
So like the most dangerous aspect to arm a fool.
Yes. Now say nipa no expect to obey to me. Or no, now all of a sudden when you to me. On nimunu crofis on deserve. Hey, na me pa me nie. We see that kind of yes. So it's a classic sign of a fool getting power. No one arrogance and no show. And to be a with me needing come our friend Nesreno next our friend come Fabian. Sanity offer no back. That is the attitude. Nasa for them. But that haska. Never America. See yourself for mine. we need to be very straightforward and we need to be very frontal and confront issues now. A border your match. When the name Chrome as a state-owned enterprises has been a problem.
That's right.
Why name? My all the time nearby, this is a privatizer who is injecting efficiency into state-owned institutions, making sure that they work. Because they are the highest paid people in this country. We cannot entertain and be financing such mediocrity in this country and say that it's normal. It's normal. Such madness can never be normal. We need to. So ECG privatization, even accepting to privatize is an admission of failure on our part.
Exactly.
Say, we are incompetent, we can't do it, so we let us outsource it. Over the years, the ATM outsourcing in the Korea saying. Because we are handing over to a bunch of another criminal cartel sitting somewhere.
Those we thought that they can manage, one more the amount Crawford, they hide behind almost shareholders.
Yes, and it becomes a cash cow, just like Blasters. Blasters is a cash cow, man, for so the whole entity become a cash cow, and people are cashing in. Our mind, nobody's benefiting. We need to get our priorities right. You see. Answer any never move in one direction. Now, Alaska, this is a country opposition namhana power nam saying they don't come eye to eye. But governance is not and yet the beyond the year changing. Sometimes you need to buy bipartisan consensus on some critical and some vital issues where border on national interest. Sabia will move in one direction as a country. But here from an party and from 6 to 6 and a pachoka TV so wait just say you don't see any common ground. There is no sense argument in a man for Yansa be and Nimsa de hunu from our focus here. What is the common ground?
Right.
What are we built on as a country? And when we do these things, you know what happened? There are people within certain in these state institutions. They are not politicians, so they take advantage of this nasty politicking and they do their worst. ECG, these are people who are making millions. What I say, your friends that Randy Abe say, Cocoa board, so
serious.
A man for importing near man.
Boss,
our containers are
containers 200.
Yes.
ECG.
Yes, ECG container. Now when him other people most of container era. A business on your container is sika. Nema air coso. And because the whole thing no akwasa dog fight and a man for a cool animal and a man teacher no.
But also Utumusa Nanado and Kasankasan obe critique akromfo. Say only bandits.
And so this is what the country should be going
on. I quite to say when we are now when we are and Kromfo Papa Nankasati baby.
It's on the mother's
I had to say yes, who was circular. So to make us your family phone waha. Maybe say time ben your fine. Who cannot sit in us, maybe. Obako Yabro. And the son and another of a Bugana.
That is all.
Edunya yes ana okobia wa udwane kwa ya akotwana no ono afa mic oba clear sisi ya.
So that is why
serious.
That is why leadership must change. Certain agency, certain swiftness, certain team or DB as a bum.
That's right.
Now man who said now no near mess and these are the objective. This is where we are going. You don't play nice when you're dealing with criminals. You don't play nice when you are dealing with potential criminals. Go within your own government in the crown, potential criminals in the door so change. Your friend is saying you need to assert yourself and let them know, say, I'm here as a red line. If you cross, I don't mind whether you are my destiny or the consequences are there. But yeah, normal, there will be a buyer the I don't know the same thing.
Let us say, Mako Alan Graft. So I did be one. Okay, I said prior to 2016 elections. Nationwide, Unam ECG office ECG is not for sale.
Yeah.
So MPP are hiding behind ECG. Ama Omugja said, "Some too much on Mahama about ECG."
It was not true.
And then fast forward, it will be our ECG bia to Abatia NDC. Fast forward,
and they came.
One more buy no more PDS no ECG kept quiet.
Yes, in 2019.
Obiankasa.
Yes.
And you're telling
in 2009, 3 months. Then a friend saying,
so na me tie chire. Satana me wo Eastern region. Could you believe say na Eastern region almost ye press soiree into no mo to safre. Ye call na ECG mpanifo na ye omo de. Na omo ka say ye wo na Onapo FM. Na je say NDC percentage no munya no no dey high frequency o say and this yanka yan 20 amokura kan ye Jimmy Sabi but first when they came to say it and ECG kept quiet and these are the people criminals in manage ECG
yeah, that is it and they are so there that is why they are so messing us up
so yanko ECG
well ECG issue no share Alaska and now I mean okay say as at the year 2016 I be fear bim now ECG a profit and as ECG a profit
now the your profit
we were being told by the then deputy minister and oil minister that ECG as of December 2016 make it profit of about 550 million Ghana
including Gridco
they were all making profit
exactly
companies like GIHOP
2.3
Tama Oil Refinery boast and other things under His Excellency John Ejekunkufor in the previous times we never knew that our companies ebetimi around momentimi make a profit. But under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Papa Professor Moss, they proved to Ghanaians say it is not about privatization, but Ghanaians when we put in place the right measures, Ghanaians can be able to run this institution and those institutions will be able to make profits. So in 2016, we were making profit. Now, after the time we were exiting power in 2016, what was the state of Boost? What was the state of Ghana Oil Refinery? To the extent say ya oil ya say you to no yetima stock almost about 60,000 friends oil no a certain percent about 60,000 barrels or whatever ya ba be refine Ghana to as and menya ya set all the machines and everything in place ya say be refine your oil in coffee buy what happened to the oil
am the tank farm no kra edani omo mu die na afi omo
odiase all these institutions they were making profit. And then, say about not the same person. Omuma signal. Say I was say yeton ECG. The same person who ran it proud to the year 2016, from the year 2012 to the year 2016, or from the year 2009 to the year 2016, and say if you are kono, they ran and made sure that all these government institutions were able to make profit. No said ne on tongue. Into be all that I saw preparing the company with the intention, say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will come and make mention of the fact, say Yabeton ECG. Amomenya ho Apple musika akwa kotobi. No more mismanage your musika de gumbo to papa is on tongue. Like Ivan Kyei, if he had made that pronouncement there in the first place, it showed gross incompetence on his part.
Exactly.
What I say now, one signal it was also sent. Ne say, nature said the problem of ECG, what I say, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will not be able to solve it. A bro so, and nothing or privatizing. But are you even aware? Say Ansa Nkrofo ebe hani overpower in the year 2024 2025 unim say on the 5th yenya dum so on the 6th yenya dum so on the 7th yenya dum so and you know what omoma say the reasons for the dum so as at that time and someone overpower no one say maintenance issue and no and a massive power fluctuation as at that time no. So before they will even hand over power, Alaska, do you remember? So there were before they will even hand over power to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, there were power outages and maintenance was cited as one of the reasons.
And they are telling us, sir, and you doom so you doom CSC.
You understand? So before they were even handing over governance to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, ECG was in crisis. But you see, our failure is that after the minister had come out to communicate, actually Ghana Fund say yes, this is the situation. Even Fango Crapo Mujama and Crapo say and manage ECG Crapo and do 2 days and I say do 3 days.
Tie Napo.
To the ministry, we've gone past the era where we had 72 to 96 days of lights out and 6 hours of light on. We are in the era of Doom CSA, which is profoundly different from Doomso. Doomso has inflicted on Ghanaians has only happened as characterized His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's governance. He is the only president on record that for 4 years that he reigned, for 4 years that he ruled.
Right. And during their time, who counts a doom CSC. So today, if they are telling you say you doom so me see party national Sudan kasa ya abuanti ni mo mu ye nyina
calculated well rehearsed.
And now Ghanaians are, we are not kids.
No.
You have a voice. And this is a doom CSC. This time around,
that is why the reference, yeah, but I call on the feet. And mom said, what are the things that happened before the on the 7th of Hanover? Edma, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. What was the state of ECG as at the time they were taking over? Now, this same Bank of Ghana, under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, was Bank of Ghana not making profit?
No way.
As at the time he was handing over, was Bank of Ghana not making profit? Today, what's the state of Bank of Ghana? So clearly, you see, Ghanaians as a people, they say who's uncle, we say anything they are doing on social media no deceptive. Any bibia omoye say be omuju man ho anaso mo adwempa e de more man. Wo wasa man no, wo ka say the elephant can wawa be see Ghana. Elephant no no wawa be see Ghana that. On am kwamba so no dey ba. So I think say it's high time
right.
The sector minister the best no. Whatever the problem is, because
he should let Ghanaians
know. Because I overheard him this morning. Kase, you have a His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Kase, whatever the situation is, I'll fix it. But no, he will fix it, and we know His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will do it. He has done it before. But the issue is say Siana, the other one say Siana. Emma sometimes say Kaniano, Edum na sono. You should let Ghanaians know. Because already an answer